Okay, welcome to yet another Rings of Power rant. This time, let's try to be a little bit more positive. Let's talk about how it could have been awesome. It really isn't that hard. So there's three big things they could have done. Any one of these things would have been way better than what we got. So let's start with the first biggest thing that we probably all wish had happened. That's called just stick to the lore. There's a reason why Lord of the Rings is famous. Because people love the mythology Tolkien created. They love the stories of Middle-earth. They love the books. And all we want to do is see that stuff brought to life, brought to the screen. That's what Peter Jackson did. And you can argue over the details he had changed here and there, but he did his best to bring the books to the screen, and we all love him for it. That's all you gotta do. But they didn't do that. Now, you can argue it's not really their fault. They technically didn't have the rights. They had the rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and they weren't trying to redo that. Not yet. They were trying to use the appendices of Return of the King to create a secondary story, and if you look at those appendices, there really isn't a lot of content there, so you could say that, why did they make a story at all then? They didn't really have the source material for it, but they wanted to do their own thing. Okay, fine. So if you can't stick to the lore or you don't want to, how can you make a Lord of the Rings movie that's still good? Well, here's the idea. If you're going to come up with your own original content and just basically write fan fiction, hey, that doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but this is what you got to do. Put the canon story, the lore, in the background. Put your original characters and all your fun fan fiction stories in the front. Have fun, frolic around in the background and in the the unexplored areas of Middle-earth, but leave the canon alone. Use the canon as a backdrop. Explore your original characters. Have Arendir, this new elf guy, do all of his little fun adventures. Nowhere near the main storyline. Nowhere near the plot. Stay miles away from the canon characters. And to be honest, all they'd have to do is change the name of a few characters, and this whole thing would be pure fan fiction anyway. So why not just do that and keep everyone happy? Because if you take the canon characters, you take the lore, you rearrange it, change it, twist it, you're just going to piss everybody off and no one's going to be happy. So why did they do that? I don't know. But that brings us to the third, number 3, thing they could have done that really they should have done if they had no intention of following the lore or respecting it at all. And that's just write your own original damn story. I mean, if you're not using Lord of the Rings for actual inspiration of the story you want to write, and you're just going to borrow some names and try to buy all the clout and reputation of slapping Lord of the Rings on your title of your show and then make something that's completely different, then why not just write something completely different? Because if you believe you can write at the caliber of Tolkien and make a timeless masterpiece, then just make your own damn timeless masterpiece and let's all jump on the bandwagon of your new story. People would love to see some new content. I ain't picky. I like the fantasy genre. And you can fill that story with all your messaging you want, whatever, social agenda or relevant topics in the modern world you want. But if you put in some elves and dragons and monsters and stuff, and hey, I'll watch it and I'll have a fun time. But if you're going to slap the Lord of the Rings title on it, if you're going to put the name of Tolkien on it, then don't fuck with it. Because it has some obligation of other meanings, You got some responsibilities to take care of with that. So, there you go. They could have just stuck to the lore. Just take the stories in the Lord of the Rings, put it on screen, and we'll love you for it. But they couldn't do that. Fine, make some fan fiction then. Sell us on it, show us your great original characters. Maybe we'll have a good time, but leave the canon alone. But they just couldn't help themselves. But look, if you think you're better writer than Tolkien, then just write your own damn story. People have done it before. That's where Game of Thrones came from. And so many other stories out there that people love because someone inspired by Tolkien said, hey, I'll just write my own stuff. They did, and we loved it. But if you can't write your own stuff, and you can't adapt Tolkien, and you can't respect his lore, then just don't do any of that at all. Or you're going to just get one big mess. Oy. So anyway, that's all I got for this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to make a lot more videos and do a lot more interesting content. So, hope you'll join me for the ride.